want to talk today about things that we do, or that we involved with, and it always comes back to get us. And it always comes back to get us by using things that are close to us. And you might not see it for a while down the road. My son, he was born in '99. Me and his mama, we met in Columbus, Georgia. We stayed in Alabama for a while, and she talked me into dipping off to Houston, Texas. And hell, I wasn't but 20 years old, didn't have a shit. So I sold what little bit I did have, got some money up. We took off, went to Houston, and we moved in with some friends of hers, and everything was pretty cool in Houston. Houston's a big city, and I wasn't used to that shit because I was from the country. But there was some good people we were staying with. My man Richie and his people. Anyway, uh, I took a good little job, was working. But me and Terry, man, we fought all the time, man. She was one of them, that just, you know, it was like she was the coolest person in the world till we was together around each other, and then it was like she was just so jealous or whatever the point may be, but it didn't matter. She just had this personality. You couldn't offer any kind of constructive criticism or any of that shit. She was ready to blow off the handle. And, she didn't have no stopping point. Anyway, as time went by, I took a job where I was traveling, and I was young, so I was like, I was playing it pretty much like this. I was traveling out of town, I was living it up, and I knew when I went back to Houston, hell, I had a place to lay down. You know what I'm saying? And that's pretty much what it was. Well, things didn't work out with that job, so I took a job in Houston doing some welding. And I remember coming in home from work one day, I'm sitting there watching TV. She comes in, throws some papers down on the coffee table. I look at them, and it's from the doctor's office where she went in. The doctor said she was pregnant, and I knew I had to man up. I was always a hard worker, you know what I'm saying? And back then, I really wasn't messing with much. Just a little reefer and shit. But me and her, we just, I don't know, we just couldn't make it in Houston, not like that. And then my mind was racing like, I was finna have a son. So I kind of wanted him to, be born and raised where I was from, and be around my people. And so we ended up working it out. We moved back to Alabama, and everything was straight. I was working with my cousin, and then that was about some of the best times of my life. I think, was doing that work with my cousin, his daddy. We kind of built a bond. We was working out of town a little bit, but other than that, we was working right there. But we was laying pipe, running heavy equipment. It was kind of like playing in a sandbox all day. Uh, Terry, she just couldn't cut that kind of lifestyle, man. Because my people on my dad's side, they were kind of old fashioned, and they had expectations about the way things should be, and they kind of wanted to get in people's business a little bit. But anyway, one day I took a job. My daddy, I was working really between my cousin's daddy or my uncle and my daddy, back and forth. Whoever had to work, you know what I'm saying? My dad did contract maintenance through UPS. He was doing a lot of welding and shit, fabricating conveyor systems and stuff like that. So I'd work for my uncle, and then sometimes I'd be on call with my daddy. I'd work at night. And one day I'd come in, and the next day was going off, and it was them people from UPS talking about the conveyor belt up north in Florence was making a noise. That's about a good 4 or 5 hour drive from where we live. So I loaded up and headed out. You know what I'm saying? I get to Florence. I'm doing a little job and all. Really wasn't nothing. I think a bag was just stuck in the conveyor belt or something. And anyway, I get a call from my daddy on the way back saying, Joy, I don't know what's going on, but Terry just called and said her people sent her a bus ticket. She's at the bus station, finna head back to Houston, Texas. I didn't think a big utility truck like that could drive that fast, man. I'm trying to make it back to Birmingham from Florence. There wasn't no way I could make it on time, I didn't think. So I get there, and I was about 35 or 45 minutes late for the bus leaving. So there she was, gone, my 9-month-old son. And she was crazy because I was young, and I did go talk to a lawyer. He did some checking, and comes to find out she didn't put my name on the birth certificate when he was born. I didn't know that the whole time. He was mine, I knew that. Anyway, the lawyer advised me that there really wasn't nothing much I could do to try to force her, but that if I just hold out, she'd probably try to sue me for child support, and when she did, then I could try to do something. Hell, she had beat me around for a little while, for about 3 or 4 months. That's when I met my daughter's mom, Ashley. She was young, but she heard about what happened to my son, and one day, man, I come in from work, had my whole check, and I just said, you know what, let's just get in the car and drive to Houston, see if we can't find him. That's what we did, and sure enough, we found him. And I'm gonna tell you, I was gonna kidnap him, man. I was gonna take him from her, drive my ass back to Alabama, and just face the repercussions, man. Because what the situation I looked when I pulled up, it just wasn't what you'd want to see. You know what I'm saying? But it just, I don't know, man. You look back and you think that's what I should have done, but if you'd have did it, it'd have caused more problems at the time. And, so I didn't do it. But I spent 2 or 3 days with my son, and then we left, come back to Alabama. And it was about 2 or 3 years later when Terry finally sued me for child support. When she did, hell, I wasn't in no position to try to fight or do a damn thing. You know what I'm saying? So all I could do was pay it. And I paid it. I might not have paid it on time, but at the end of the year, when my taxes filed, they took it. You know what I'm saying? They took everything and paid it up. So I would pay everything I could all the time. And then when I couldn't make it, I had another family now. I had my daughter and I had my new wife. So it was hard to take from them too, So I was trying to balance and juggle this shit. Well, anyway, I'm gonna tell you how things you get into comes back and hurts you. Me and my daughter's mama, we got introduced to meth. It was probably about 2002, really, 2002. Yeah. So we down. We indulging a little bit here and there, but we ain't really doing shit like that. It gets spun out of control, and that's usually what happens with my family. They always try to go hard in the paint with everything, and it's always usually the wrong damn thing. So they started cooking a lot of meth and started putting that shit out there, and they always said meth ain't supposed to be a trap drug. If you keep it on the interstates with the truck drivers where it belongs, it don't belong nowhere. But I'm just saying, at least they can hold their mouth and they can kind of hold their own with it. You know what I'm saying? You start putting that shit in the neighborhoods and it just starts destroying everything, man. Everything. Well, that's what they did. My family, they put it in the street. They'd give it to any damn body. And I ain't see it. I remember going in people's houses on a Friday to get paid and looking around in the house, and the kids they got ain't even hardly got no food in the cabinets, clothes dirty as hell and all that shit, and all I could think is the man better have my damn money. I look back on that shit, man, that shit hurts me in my heart now. When I finally damn come to my end and I went to prison, then the thing I waited for and hoped for happened, and I wasn't there to get it. You know, 2006, my damn son's mama out in Houston. Nah, she ain't never been around that meth when she was with me. You know, she ain't never fooled with that shit. We just smoke weed and shit. Well, she goes out to Houston and gets wrapped up in that shit. And 2006, she gets caught in a big meth lab and shit in a motel room. And it's a nasty situation. I get a paper in the mail from Child Services telling me and explaining what the room looked like and the conditions they found my son and her other children in. I'll never forget that day, man. I just couldn't believe it, man. I carried that story around with me, the paper with me, and I'd read it to my people in prison. And I tried to laugh and joke it off because I knew there wasn't nothing I could do. I couldn't get out and get to them, you know what I'm saying? But I tried to make light to it. There's a guy named William A. Ivy somewhere out there in Texas I sure would like to talk to, you know what I'm saying? But that's beside the point now. But I finally found me a legal beagle. That's a dude in prison does legal work. Johnny Cochran, whatever you want to call him. He damn this guy put together me some stuff though. He got me a lawyer, pro bono, and I fought the thing because the state was wanting to terminate my parental rights because of the shit she was doing and because I was in prison and couldn't offer them no support. I still had 7 years then, you know. Well, I ended up winning, but it took all the way to the end of 2007 for them to make a decision. And what they did was they put me down as a secondary guardian. And they give custody of all her kids to her mama, which was bullshit because all they did was, you know, it was a technicality. They give custody to her mama, but hell, she was living right there under the same roof, so it was like nothing changed, you know what I'm saying? Well, I was supposed to get addresses and phone numbers and all that, but they never sent them, you know. They was mad at me because if I'd have just signed over my rights and all that shit, then they would have collected money from the state for the kids. But I wasn't going to do that, you know what I'm saying? Because she was already getting child support. My shit was retroactive, so the state was paying it, and I was going to end up owing it when I got out. That was part of the deal I made with them to keep my rights. Well, 2010 rolls around. Terry's mom dies of cancer. And it really hurt me because at the beginning of 2010, man, at mail call one day I get a letter. And it's from my son. And it's just a paragraph, about 2 sentences. It says, "Daddy, this your son Joey. I just wanted to tell you I love you and I want you to write me." And that was all, you know. It's a very short letter. But man, it made my whole time, man, because I've been waiting to hear from him for so long, you know. So I started writing them. I started writing them books, man. I mean, every week I'm trying to write them as much as I can because I didn't know how long it would last, you know. And sure enough, middle of 2010 when her mama died, something happens. I ain't sure to this day exactly what. The state steps in, I guess, and finds out that she's living under the same roof and that her mom ain't there no more. So they come in and snatch her kids again. And hell, they attack me again. They send me another letter talking about terminating my parental rights, you know. So I fought it again myself. There wasn't no legal beagle around to help me this time. So I tried to do what I could do. In 2011, June, they take me to court on a phone in a damn cell at Evans Corrections. My lawyer's telling me I should just go ahead and sign the paper to her. He said 3 good things could come from that. He said 1, it'll prevent anybody from saying anything bad about me in the courtroom. He said 2, if I ever have any more kids, CPS can never bring up that case if I ever have any more problems. And I can't remember even what the third one was, but it was just as stupid as the other fucking 2. You know what I'm saying? I told the lawyer on the phone I didn't think he was worth a damn because hell, he didn't even contact me until a week before I was supposed to get on that phone. I've been writing him for a year. So I get on the phone with the judge and everybody, and they go through the little technicality of telling about everything and what everything's gonna do and all. And I argue and argue and argue, and in the end, she terminates my rights. They adopt my son out. I ain't heard from him since. Shit hurts me, man, cause see, I got involved with that meth, and when I was with Terry, we didn't fool with that shit. But in the end, that same thing I got involved with and destroyed all them people's families with, destroyed my life, my family, my daughter's mom, all that. Didn't only take that, but it also come back and took everything that I'd lost one time before, but permanent. You know what I'm saying? And I've reflected on that over and over and over again, man. I don't down nobody for what they do. I guess I'm a hard case on that because I feel like this. If you're willing to take responsibility for it, then there is no right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? What I mean by that is if you can smoke meth, or if you can shoot dope, if you can smoke crack or whatever, and you can still go out in that world and produce and provide for your family, and you can maintain a place in society worthy of maintaining, then nobody can say a damn thing about what you're doing. But the day you look around and your life is gone and you in a ditch, then don't expect nobody to pick you up out of it. You know what I'm saying? Because you're responsible for it. So take responsibility for it. Hell, I think they ought to legalize every damn thing. Sell everything in the damn gas station. If you stupid enough to buy the shit and you look and you fall in that ditch, fuck you. Kick your ass over there and stay there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that sounds rough. And I hate to put it like that. But damn, that's one reason everybody's so strung out on the shit. Everybody's so soft on them. I say that from experience because I was strung out on the shit and everybody was soft on my ass. Look at what happened, you know? So I don't pity that shit, man. I'm all about taking responsibility for my actions. And I'm going to take responsibility for all these things. I'm going to get them straightened out. If not, I'm going to work myself to death for it. One thing about it, if I believe in something, I'm willing to die for it. When I went to prison, I had a shovel and I was digging a hell of a ditch, hell of a hole, you know what I'm saying? But a year or two into that bid, I threw that damn shovel down and got a hammer. And I started putting planks together to build a ladder. I've been climbing ever since. So all I can say is, people, man, you gotta look around at what you're doing, man, and just look at it. I mean, I know addiction's hard, but you gotta come out of it. You know what you can handle and what you can't. Just think. That's all you gotta do. You know, try not to be weak-minded as hell. I know this sounds rough, but I'm just in a rough mood today, man. I just kind of want to let you know what had happened with my son. I told y'all a little bit about my daughter and stuff last time. Still got a long way to go, but I am putting things together slowly but surely. Got this today. This is a step. If y'all can see that. That's a money order. That's the first step in getting my shit back together. That's gonna get my driver's license. I should have it by this week. So then I'll be able to take the next step, and that's what it's all about now for me, is taking steps in the right direction. I ain't no saint. I ain't never claimed to be that. I'm not never gonna knock nobody for what they do, I might say some hurtful things, but I love everybody. And I believe everybody's capable of doing anything they want to do. If they stick to that 3. They think it, they will it, and then they go and do it. And that's what we gotta do, man. I just hope people just start doing it, because I look around at the world now, man, and I mean, damn, we just pretty much flushing the shit down the toilet. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you look at how beautiful everything is, man, and what this world's supposed to mean, man. This is a ship, you know, and it's sailing in a chaotic place, man, a chaotic universe where shit can just smash it. Things can happen. They say at random. You know what I'm saying? Shit can come flying out of the sky and solar flares and all this shit. You know what I'm saying? This is our shit. We supposed to be selling. You know what I'm saying? We supposed to be figuring out a way to overcome all the obstacles in this universe and stuff because we got a mind to think. But instead we more worried about you know damn this person, damn that person, and fight these people and what these people believe in, and these people ain't supposed to have nukes and this shit and that. And what the hell is that, man? You know, man, we ain't got but one world, man. One ship. I think it's about time we start selling it. You know what I'm saying? That's about all I got this time, man. Give me another day or two, I'll think of something else to ramble about. And I just want to thank y'all again for listening. I love y'all, man.